Let's just talk about what the state of fall means as we actually hit this pivotal point in the world, in society, in all of our lives, and where we are going. Very, very important to be aware of this right now. The fall is the beginning of the sun's descent, okay, down into the underworld, all right, down into the seasons of Scorpio, down into the seasons of Sagittarius, of Capricorn as well. And it's when we go down into the depths of ourselves and we really get to the truth of the matters of the world. We really see what needs to come out, both within ourselves and within the world. And it's a time of incredible introspection where we can bring new hope and bring new life to ourselves and to other people around us if and only if we are willing to do the work. If and only if we are willing to face the truth, both within ourselves and within the people around us. So it's an amazing time. It is right now, in this particular moment, the fall equinox. Can you feel the energy? Can you feel things shifting? The sun has just moved into the sign of Libra. And things are going to transition, and things will never be the same after this particular moment. Remember how you feel in this particular moment. Things will never be the same. Okay? The trajectory of all of our lives, the trajectory of your life listening right now is about to change. It's in the middle of a flux and a transition. And in one more minute, you will be on a completely different track than you were even before this particular live stream. Now, I want to hear from you guys. What is it? We just hit that point. We hit after the fall equinox, by the way. What is that trajectory? What is that path? What is that newness that you can start to begin to feel inside of where your path is leading you? I want to hear in the comments right here, right now, where this path is leading you now, as opposed to where it might have been leading you before. Hello, Aaron Bryan in YouTube. Welcome to the first person in the YouTube chat. We are doing a fall equinox hangout and live stream and 2022 predictions for the rest of 2022. And we're going to allow Spirit and the astrology to dictate where we go from here and what we hear. In a minute here, we're going to take a look at the actual astrology and just check out what we can expect. But I want to hear from you guys. What is it that this new track, this new trajectory for you in your life means to you? What is it? What is the deep inner truth or redesign, right, of your life, or discovery or newness that's entering your life in this moment right now? Where is it going to take you? Where does your path lie? Where does your new adventure lie ahead? Okay. Bird on a Wire Bino says, setting boundaries and not feeling guilty. I love that. Jill, it's Nick, and says, new house, leaving sadness. I love it. Some of us, the house itself represents a lot of energy, a lot of emotions. Okay. Misty Powers, hello. Welcome to the YouTube live stream. Appreciate you being here. Aaron says, hey, Brendan, Paula. Hello, Aaron. Catherine says, hi, Brendan. Hi, Catherine. How's it going? Welcome. Imanabi, my husband passed recently. I'm so sorry to hear that. Okay. The truth is here. The truth is upon us all right now. Okay. There's nothing but the truth ready to be faced at this particular moment. And everything we're facing right now has a reason. Everything right now has a consequence as well. And everything right now has a given direction and a given purpose. So I'm asking you guys right now to have faith in that purpose, faith in that direction, faith in where you're all going right now. We're all going in this particular moment. Cats and Autism 111. That's a great name, by the way. I just want to pause and say Cats and Autism, that's a fantastic name. I'm not sure what that means, but that's fantastic. Says Venus is in Libra. Here, hello from Minnesota. My partner passed with brain cancer. I'm so sorry to hear that as well. Again, thank you for sharing the live, Moolah. I really appreciate that. Peace, strength, and abundance. Iris Gal 428 says, hello. Hope you're having a great night. I'm having a fantastic night. Thank you so much for asking. We are live here on YouTube and on TikTok. And let's get into some astrological predictions as well for 2022 and beyond. What is it that we need to know for our greatest and highest good in this moment and in the lives of others at this time? Spirit, can you help me channel some helpful words of encouragement and redirection for the collective in this particular moment? What is it we all need to hear for our greatest and highest good? The girl who will be some good. I beat cancer. Moving beyond this point, there is a great ability to gain victory in your life there's a great opportunity to really overcome the greatest challenges you faced in your life to an incredible degree. If there's any challenges you faced up until this point where it's made you feel a little hopeless, it's made you feel like things were never going to get better, if it's made you feel like you weren't worth enough or worthy enough to have or be who you want to be, you're going to be overcoming those challenges. There's the opportunity moving forward from this particular moment, 6:02 p.m. PST, 4 minutes ago, that there wasn't before. And the reason why is because things have finally hit a bottoming out. Things have finally hit a breaking point, or the beginning of the descent into the bottoming out point. And in those moments, when we are in our fall collectively as a human society, as a human race, when we are in our falling, okay, and when we see the depths of the bottom, is when we are allowed to bring out our greatest strengths, our greatest abilities to persevere, our greatest abilities to see through the darkness, and to use our insight, to use our sight and our insight to be able to navigate our way, our path forward. So don't look down. Don't look dreary. Don't look in a depressive way. Look with a way of renewed optimism and hope. At the sound of these words right now, look at these next few moments, these next few days, these next few weeks to come with a profound renewed sense of optimism and hope and faith for those of you guys who need it. We bring in the energy of faith into this particular live stream for those of you who need to know that the challenges you are facing, all of them, every single one of them, I don't care what it is. That's confirmation, by the way, the washer in the background. I don't know if you guys heard that buzzing noise. Every single one of you have what it takes within you to overcome any particular challenge. I don't care what challenge that is. I know each and every single one of us and you have a challenge. I don't care what that is, but you have it inside of you to overcome that challenge. And that's going to be made very clear in the coming days, in the coming weeks, and the coming months. Mark my words. We're in the middle of a fall, of the descent into Scorpio season, into the bottoming out of human consciousness, of human body, of spirituality and awareness. And in those moments, you see what you are really made of. You have the opportunity to overcome, and you have the chance to be an inspiring and leading light. How many of you guys choose right now to activate that potential inside of you? Say yes if you do. How many guys choose to act as the leading and guiding light, rising up from the darkness, rising up from the ashes, to choose to lead people, others, individuals around you to a better place? I know I do. I know I do. Say yes if you do. Because saying yes right now gives permission right now to yourself, to your soul, to your body, to spirit, whatever it is you believe in, to give you the energy, to give you the focus, and to give you the clarity that you need in order to move you forward, and in order to move forward the lives of others all around you. Yeah? Just giving permission right there. Whether or not you believe or you don't believe, that's okay. There's some people on here too that don't believe. I've had people, there was a lovely gentleman, he might be back. This live stream, he said, I don't believe this stuff, but the energy is contagious. And I go, hey, I'll take it. Because whether or not people believe you, whether or not people believe in source, spirit, God, the divine, whatever it is, I'm not saying there's a name for it, okay? They can feel it. Yes? How many guys can feel it with all of us here tonight in this particular moment as we cross down into the bottom depths of where we're going as a consciousness and as a society? Not just as a consciousness, but as a society. How many guys get excited or can feel the excitement at that turning point for the human awareness? How many guys have been waiting and sensing and feeling that things must change and things must shift into a new direction? You've been waiting for the opportunity for that shift to happen. Well, here is your chance. Here is your chance to lead the people you know you are here to lead into the light, into a new direction, and into their greatest potential. And each of you guys know, who are on here, each of you know what you're here to do. Right now, you have an opportunity to know. Right now, in this particular moment, I want to hear what it is you know that you are here to do. And I don't care, by the way, because I've realized now what the point of this live stream is. And I want as many of you as possible to participate, okay? I want as many, and I would say if you want, but I would say no. I want as many of you on this live stream as possible to participate. Not just if you want, because some of you might not want to. I know sometimes I don't want to, but I know I must participate with all that I have and all that I must. Because some of you guys might say, well, I want to participate, Brandon, but I don't really know what I'm here to do. How many guys are in that space or that energy? Well, Brandon, I wish I could participate in leading the collective to a new place, but I don't know even what I'm doing, right? I don't even know where I'm going. So how can I lead other people, right? And to that I say, you don't have to know what the hell you're doing to lead people. You don't have to know what the hell you guys are doing individually in order to lead people. You just have to know that you're here to lead. You just have to know that you are here to lead, and you will figure it out along the way. And let this live stream be living proof of that, right? Because some of you guys who have followed me for a while, you know I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Sometimes I was doing tarot, I was doing energy reads, I would talk about politics sometimes I would do, and I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. But you know what I do know? Is I know that there's a calling here, there's an excitement, there's an energy to get on it and to start to lead people somewhere. And I know that the people in this live stream as well have that same energy, have that same light, have that same excitement. And so I want to know in the chat right now, and I don't care if it's wrong, I don't care if it's incorrect, I don't care if it's way off, I don't care if it's the first thing that comes off of your heart and off of your mind, but I just want you to let it out for yourself, for me, for the world, for everyone on here, because everything that you guys say in this moment will turn someone else on in a good way, okay? In all the good ways. Hey, we're heading into Scorpio season. But I want to know what it is you are here to do on this planet. What it is you are here to be on this planet authentically, that will actually guide people to a better place. I want to know. I'm curious. I'm asking you, heart to heart, eye to eye, soul to soul, light worker to light worker, human to human, whatever it is you identify as. I want to know what it is you are here to do, what it is you are here to be. And I will start because it's time I let this out. It's time I let this out. I just had something pop down on my Reddit. And it was someone else, God forbid, being scammed by PayPal. And I haven't told this story yet, but I will tell it now. Because we went through a major injustice recently. And if I did not have faith, if I did not believe in God, the divine, and if I did not believe that my path was the true one, it would have destroyed me. Recently, you guys know I did a special $50 offer for a service, a channeled reading service. And I was using PayPal in order to facilitate the payment of that service. Many of you guys, half of you guys paid via PayPal. The other half of you guys paid via credit card, and it went to Shopify. Well, PayPal, the moment that I started to make money and they identified me as a small business that used digital goods and services related to spirituality in order to sell my products, they froze my account, permanently banned it, and are now keeping the funds for 6 months. Not to mention my other PayPal account, which I was using for business as well, a different business. Straight up, there was a client that paid a good amount of money for a session, and PayPal recently, after waiting 5 months for that, I think it was $300 to unfreeze, they just stole the money. They literally just transferred it into their own account, PayPal. Okay. And I don't bring this up. I didn't talk about this because I'm not here to talk about it to make people feel sorry for me. That's not what this is about, because me and Paula made it fine. Okay, it scared the living shit out of us. It stressed us out, because that's literally how we are paying our rent. Literally. You guys don't understand, right? Like when I do these services, it's paying our bills to a T. And so somehow we ended up making, again, just enough to be able to make it through the grace of God. All right. PayPal still has over $1,000, over $1,500 of my money at this point locked away in their account that I cannot access. The funds are frozen. It's kept to them. They will likely take it. I went ahead and got involved in a class action lawsuit against them. Turns out they're doing the same thing to thousands of small-time creators, thousands of digital entrepreneurs across the world. And I personally believe that it's their way of taking away the opportunity from small-time business owners like you and I, okay, and those people who want to become that, from having the opportunity to succeed and to pay for themselves without having a job. I personally believe that. And I personally believe that because I've been through it and I've seen the testimonials. Now, the reason I bring this up, and it's no coincidence that this is happening at this time, is because that is why I am here. I know part of the reason I am here is to speak about subjects like these and to bring the truth, to bring light to the dark, to scandals, to evil, and to corruption that is happening in the world right now, not just to me, but to many, 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 many people, and for many, 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 many different reasons. And I'm sure there are hundreds of people. I mean, we don't have hundreds of people in the chat. There will be someday. But there are hundreds and hundreds and thousands of more people who have even worse stories than I do. But I couldn't believe it. And I have banned PayPal from my life at this point. I'm involved in the class action lawsuit. Hopefully we get the money back. I've counted it as gone, to be honest with you guys. Any company that uses PayPal to pay their creators, I've just said, hey, I'm not doing it anymore. Because they are a total scam. I mean, there's even threads on Twitter, right, that talk, I mean, where there's people literally saying, like hundreds and hundreds of people on the same thread saying, PayPal did this to me too, PayPal did this to me too, to the point where they filed a class action lawsuit. So that sucks, okay? But what it really brought up for me, okay, and me and Paula, my girlfriend, really resonate with this is, I mean, there's some freaking evil people and corporations on this earth and this planet. Raise your hand and say yes if you agree that there's some evil ass, corrupt ass, and I would say effing people and corporations on this planet that are trying to literally destroy and take away the opportunity, the freedom, the individuality, and really the life, okay, the life of people trying to make it, okay, and be free without having to depend on the system that has been created by other people. And I think it's a shame. I think it's an attack. I think it's a deliberate attack. I'm one of those people who's naturally skeptical. I'm a Capricorn moon. Those of you guys who know what that means, I can explain. So I'm naturally skeptical by nature, but I've seen so many instances like this so far, not just in this realm, but in other realms as well. It became obvious. It became obvious that something quite conspicuous was going on. So I just want to share off of my heart. That's why I'm here. I'm here to bring a light to these subjects. It's a brand new direction. I feel I'll be using astrology to aid in that mission, to aid in that quest, both on YouTube and TikTok, to be talking about that, but slowly moving away from more esoteric things, maybe like tarot or just astrology. And I really want to, it's in my heart to move into that direction. I do believe I'm here to bring a light to that, and to bring a light to the evil, the corruption, and the roots of evil that have taken place in our world and in America as well. Because America is in some sorts, in some senses, right? It's not perfect by any means, but it was and still can be a leading place of pioneering light for the world if we can take it back. So Betsy Clarice says, just joining in, your hair looks great. I appreciate that so much. Creative Carrie says, what do you think about September 24th? I think it's the beginning of a great descent of internal awareness that's going to shift people's consciousness in a very significant way, that's going to change their reality and their path. I don't think anything significant physically is going to happen. I personally, many people disagree. I don't think that that's going to happen yet. I think these things are on the way, but I think it's going to build into something more significant, perhaps economically, perhaps naturally on a global scale, perhaps a mix of both here. But really, the core root of what I feel, and I talked about this on yesterday's live stream, is that people who are here that have not made a decision or a choice about who they are. It doesn't matter what they're doing, but who they are, where they're going, what they decided they are, which is why this live stream is all about. What do you decide to do? Okay. Those people, unfortunately, I believe are going to be swept away in the madness of it all, in the chaos. Okay. Think of it like a river, like a rapid river with rapids. And there's one side over here that has safety. There's one side over there that has safety. But if the longer you stay in the rapids, the more chance, and really it's guaranteed that eventually you're going to hit a rock or to drown or to be swept away. So you have to make it to shore, and you got to choose your side. You got to choose where you're going to go. You got to choose your path. Otherwise, you're going to be swept away here. Jenny V19, I had a very popular astrology author copy my content from my Instagram to publish in her book. There's a lot of persecution towards spiritual people who are growing and sharing their light. I couldn't agree more, Gen V. I mean, not to mention some of you guys probably have been scammed by fake accounts from me and other people on TikTok and on Instagram who are literally scamming followers for money. A lot of things are going on. Hello from Wantagh, New York. Welcome to the live stream. Appreciate it. Jacqueline said, don't worry about that. The money will get to you when you least expect it. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've let it go. I've given it to God at this point in time. I hold no more anger or vengeance against them, but I do want to share it openly and say this happened to me, and I'm not alone. I'm not alone in doing this, right? No wonder why people are terrified sometimes to quit their jobs, because it's hard and it takes a lot of faith and it's very scary sometimes. Okay. Past year, my life has changed so much in the better this past week for sure. September 24th. So I just explained Mere Footy September 24th, but yeah, basically I believe it's the beginning of a descent of consciousness to a place where there's going to be so much tension that we're going to be forced to make a decision to choose a path that's relevant in our lives or get swept away. That's what I truly believe. I do truly believe that. All right. Now, before I went into this rant about PayPal, I was asking you guys, and I want to hear in the comments so I know where everyone's at, both on YouTube and on TikTok. Hi, YouTube. What is it you are here to do on this planet, on this earth? I want to know. And again, I don't care if it's wrong. I don't care if it's inappropriate. I don't really care as long as it doesn't get me banned from TikTok. I don't care if it is, just outside of the realms of what you think is possible. That doesn't matter. I want you to channel this from your heart. I want you to channel this from your soul right now. I want you to dig so deep, and I want you to bypass your logical mind in the name of the highest potential light energy you can feel and think of in your heart. And I want you to feel and I want you to share from your heart, what is it you are here to do? What is it you are here to be in this lifetime? Where is it you will lead people specifically in this life? I want to hear from you guys in the comments here. Betsy Clarice says, ease suffering. Tihulian 22 says, be of service. Good. Keep going. Baby girl TG, I believe I'm here to help people. Good. Keep going. Aaron Bryan says, here to teach and heal. I don't know how yet, but every day taking steps in that direction, even if it's one person a day. Yes, I love that, Aaron. Good job. Constantly getting downloads and information. Beautiful job. Keep going, keep going, keep going. To learn lessons to be a better person. Simply Diana. Good. Perfect. I believe I'm here. Do you guys see, by the way, I want to point something out real quick. How simple these answers are. It doesn't have to be complicated, right? The truth is, the reason we are all really here has nothing to do. It has nothing to do at all. Let me just detach this karmic bond that we all have collectively to society. It has nothing to do why we're here, our purpose in our heart, who we are, what we're here to experience as a soul and do as a soul, has nothing to do with the society that humans have created. It has nothing to do with being an influencer on TikTok and YouTube. It has nothing to do with being a reporter. It has nothing to do with being a engineer, right? It has everything to do with the simple reason that you are here in your heart energetically that you know. It can be as simple as Gen V says, I'm here to be a spiritual teacher. That's it. Boom. And you know what? That includes and encompasses, by the way, all of the things that you can do in society, right? You can be a spiritual teacher while being an engineer. You can be it. You can be a spiritual teacher while being as a preschool guide, preschool teacher. You can be a spiritual teacher when you are live on TikTok or YouTube, right? You can be what you are while doing something within society. You just have to choose what's fun for you. Does that make sense? Let me just break up this karma here that some of us think, okay, what do we have to do? What are we here to do? The reason why you don't know what you're here to do is because you're so focused on the doingness. You're so focused on the what you will do, which has nothing to do with it, as opposed to why you are really here. Okay? Does that make sense? This society we've created, we've just been born into it, but it has nothing to do with why God or the divine sent us here. You guys see that? That's a totally separate reason from any sort of particular career or job or doingness that you can do. I had this epiphany today as well. I was thinking about, okay, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do on YouTube? What am I going to do and talk about? And, one of the things I realized was, well, I can be what I am. I can be Brandon, but I can be Brandon in a variety of different subjects that society is wanting to know about, that society, that can actually help society, right? If, let's say that, I don't know, there was this whole September 24th inquiry, right, that went on recently, or there was the whole Adam Levine cheats on his wife kind of drama, or there was this other company drama, right? I can use subjects and talk about things within these subjects that people want to know about, but also be me at the same, be a spiritual teacher, a spiritual leader in that subject. Does that make sense? So it doesn't matter what you do, but what matters is, are you being you? Are you able to be you within whatever it is you're doing? I'm NAB. I'm here to bring people peace. Kathy McDowell. Hey, Kathy. By the way, if you guys like this style of coaching, of teaching, if you guys want more methods on how to understand astrology, more methods on how to understand how to know yourself and to be on your path, how to heal yourself and activate your energy every single week, I have a brand new group coaching program for only $33 a month. Literally only $33 a month. We already have 6 members and counting, Kathy being one of them. So congratulations to Kathy, where we will have weekly Zoom meetings, weekly Zoom group empowerment meetings that are even more personalized than this. You guys get to ask questions, go through different exercises, learn how to activate your superpowers and align to your soul purpose and know yourself with a community of people, private community of people, and many other goodies along the way. Check both the description box and the link in my bio if you guys are interested in that. Literally, normally coaching, just as a reference, goes for $1,500 a month with me, one-on-one, or $400 per hour. So this is my opportunity to all of you to give it away for a rate that I believe works for you guys and for me on a bigger scale. So if you guys are interested in that, check that out. Good answers, though. You're welcome, Kathy. Thanks for being in there. Hi from North Dakota, says Scribbles01. Jacqueline says, I'm learning that I'm worthy of love, that I'm not perfect, and I'm perfectly made. Good. Let's see what else we got here. Kings used to have spiritual advisors, right? Yeah, I think they did. I do seriously think that they did here. Catherine says, engineer here. That's funny. That's the example that came through, Catherine. I feel like you are channeling my engineering and talking to me. I can't disagree with you there, Catherine. I can't disagree with that. Hey, see me, definitely to help people. Jenny B19, I'm here to help help people heal themselves, basically. Okay, good. All right. So let's do this. I don't know if this is even set up. Okay, no, that's not good. I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and look at the astrology right now, and just kind of look at it and see what's coming through for the rest of 2022. And we're just going to channel here as specifically as I can. Okay, so both for end of September here, as well as moving forward through October. We're just going to take a live look at this right now and look at what we're going into starting with October. Okay, and I'm just going to give a brief summation and overview. This is not, by no means an in-depth reading, but it will provide us some sort of insight and predictions into what's coming up for us as a society and as a collective. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, boom. Hopefully that's still showing up on YouTube like this. All right. Let me actually, you know what, move this over here. There we go. Hopefully that's better. Okay. So here's we have the chart of what's going on here. It is October 1st, 2022 right now. T. Julian says 22 says self-love for me. And Rapastato says hi, hello, welcome. Okay, so let's start with October. Now, obviously, at 6:02 p.m. PST tonight, we just hit the fall equinox, which basically means, right, if we go back to what just happened today, okay, by the way, September 22nd, 2022, so beautiful angel number there. We can see the sun here just moved to Libra, okay, 0 degrees Libra. and now conjunct Mercury retrograde. Okay, and I always like to look at, you can really tell a lot for the next chapter of life. Generally speaking, the next chapter of life with the astrology, with how the planets are the moment something significant occurs. So let's look at this fall equinox exact moment here and now and channel and see what we can come up with, right? We know that Sun is conjunct Mercury at 0 degrees, by the way, at 0 degrees, with the vertex, by the way, okay, with vertex, this little VX right here, that's called vertex. That with Mercury and the Sun, with the descendant and Cupido, all right, that is a lot of truth and a lot of darkness coming out to the surface and a lot of victory as well for the light. That's what I'm going to say right now. That is a lot of that. And the reason why is because vertex here, and oh yeah, wow. And it's square the MC in Capricorn. Okay, it's square the MC in Capricorn here. And opposing Jupiter and Chiron here. It's not really opposing Chiron, but Chiron's in the mix here. This is where you guys want to talk about Libra, the balance scales. This is where things start to shift. So if we as a people have been feeling up until this moment that things have not really been fair, that we've been kind of screwed over in some ways, I'll just put it lightly, or if things have not been going our way between us, the people, and maybe experiences we've had or systems we've been a part of that have really been for their advantage, this is when we start to take it back. Okay, this is when the tables start to really turn. This is really what I'm feeling in my heart very strongly at this moment. Okay, and I really feel this has a lot to do, I talked about this before, but with the feminine energy being restored. Like the real, true, divine feminine energy, what that means, who she is, what that represents. Many of you, and you have to tell me in the chat, feminines, if you've been experiencing this, have been experiencing maybe a lot of shifts in what it means to be in your feminine energy, and maybe a profound and deep necessary desire to shift more into that feminine energy as time goes along. Let me know if I'm wrong with that. And that's because the moon is here with Ceres in Leo, okay, making a trine to the MC and opposing Saturn in Aquarius here. So there's a big attention. Tension and attention to the authentic feminine energy, and this energy of, wait a minute, I know this energy is like this, okay? This feminine energy is like this. Why is it being portrayed in such a different way? Why has it been portrayed in a way that's deleterious, not only to ourselves, but to everyone around us? Why are these things happening? Why is the feminine energy being so attacked? And the truth of the matter is, well, the feminine energy is being attacked because the feminine energy is the most important energy responsible for healing, nurturing, and keeping a home together in society. Okay, for family. Family is what makes individuals strong. Family is what keeps people together. Family is what keeps men as well straight lined, right? Outside of drugs and alcohol, outside of pornography, outside of things that would otherwise deter their path. Family is the solution to a lot of things, okay? But we've been told that it's bad to have a family. How many guys, especially feminines, have been told you shouldn't have a family? You don't need to have kids. Just put it all into something else. Now, there's nothing wrong if you choose and genuinely desire to do that. Some feminines, some women do like to do that. Some feminine energies like to do that. But the fact that we're being told, indoctrinated, and in some ways literally sterilized, yeah, I said it, sterilized or hormonally affected, okay, hormonally controlled, and you guys can surmise what I'm saying with this, in order to shut off essential parts of our femininity, right? For feminines, for their femininity, is a problem, is a very big problem, because it puts things in a huge, overly masculinated, imbalanced way and perspective. And that's where we're at as a society, where we are starting to wake up to this truth. Many, many women that I know of are waking up to the dangers of birth control, so to speak, the dangers of being overly masculine, of overworking themselves, having too many jobs and not having enough time to even find a partner, have kids, or be happy in their love life because they're working so much or they feel the need to provide. Or in some cases, even women starting to provide for men, which is just totally jacked up and just totally out of whack, okay? Right? And I don't mean that because they can't. Clearly, women can do that, but who the hell, women out there, let me know. Do you really want to provide for your man? Do you want to be the provider? Do you want to be the one that works 10 hours a day to bring home money so you can provide for your man as he sits on the couch? That's just jacked up. That's just jacked up. And any man that disagrees is a coward. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. Okay. Let me see if I can resume this here. So people are saying people have mixed opinions of this, of course. But this is where we're going, right? As a collective. So people are discovering, hey, that's really not, even though I've been told that's what's cool or that's what's supposed to be happening. Feminines are like, I don't want this. And many of us have had to be put through tests where we had to see, I don't want that type of lifestyle. So the question is, well, where do we go from here? Well, for the feminine energy, she is now, I believe, reclaiming her authentic essence and her true way of being, which is going to allow for a lot of healing for society, for men, okay? For men in particular, us men are going to be healed because the feminine is reclaiming her essence, yes? Us men are going to be more powerful, more aligned, more focused, but more genuine, right? More able to rest in our hearts because there's no continued indoctrination of wound in and affecting the feminine energy that then affects the masculine energy in a way that's negative or deleterious to their path and to their focus and to their best way of being. So it is, and I've always said this from the beginning, for those of you guys who have followed me for over a year now, you know how much I have praised and shared that the feminine energy is the most important thing in society to protect, to love, to nurture and cherish, and to make sure is safe, okay? It just is. It just really is. Men are here for a different purpose. Of course, we're important too. But our first priority should be to take care of the women. I mean, the fact that women can actually birth things out of their bodies as new human beings on this earth should tell you that from a natural biological standpoint, they are the most important thing we should take care of biologically, okay? From a human nature standpoint, we need to take care of women. We need to make sure women want to have a family, have kids, okay? If you look at places like China, where they've adopted a one-child policy and things like that, or Japan's really bad, all of their populations are falling like crazy. And it's projected in the next few years, I don't have the exact stats here, but it's projected in the next few years, I think it just hit recently, either this year or last year, or it will in the next year, that the growth of the population, or the decline of the population outweighed or outmatched the growth of the population, meaning people were having less babies, less kids than people were dying off, meaning the overall population would be in decline, which is just in many ways represents a very real and very tangible danger to the future of the human race, right? The very nature of a species thriving in the animal kingdom, in the human race, in the human species, is lots of diversity, lots of opportunity to flourish, to nest, okay? Lots of variety and lots of individuality, ingenuity, because that provides the best chance for overall survival and evolution. So anyone who says that we need to reduce population and slim down the human race is, in my opinion, evil, in my opinion, backwards, and in my opinion, not out for the best of society or humans overall. More so, they're after their own greedy agenda for whatever reasons. So let me read some comments here. I'm sure we'll have some good ones. Betsy says, I would love to be protected and cared for now. Good. I still have to provide for myself, so I have to stay in my masculine energy for now, I would say. And I would just say for that, because who was that? Kathy H, thank you for sharing that. It's not a bad, by the way, I want to stress this out. It's not a bad thing for women to have and be in their masculine energy. I'm not saying that at all. Sometimes it requires. Women have to learn how to activate their masculine energy. I think there's been a great collective lesson around that. I'm a woman and I have to be in my masculine energy because I have to provide for myself, right? There's that activation that's gone on, just like men have had to learn to be more in their feminine. But at the same time, as many of you may tell me, I'm not just claiming this, but many of you may tell me that's probably exhausting for a woman, right? Because that's not your natural state. It doesn't feel like your natural state. So once that period of time is over, once you've learned that lesson and you've officially decided, hey, I no longer want to be in this masculine energy, then the opportunity for the universe and the divine can come in to start to move you out of that, right? That's the transition. So anyone, just really quickly, any women out there or any men or anyone who wants to kind of be in a different energy, right? It's a slow transition. It doesn't happen overnight for sure, because chances are it's taken a long time to get you in the state of masculinity or femininity that you reside right now. So it takes a decision. Hey, I want to start to shift into something different. I believe it's possible to do that. And universe and God, I allow this into my life to start to take shape and form in its own time, in divine timing, for that opportunity to start. And many of you guys, this is the opportunity. I'm just going to say that right now. Right now, as I'm speaking these words, this is the time where you have the opportunity to start to shift into your true nature, which may involve the transition into more masculinity or more femininity. Okay. Kathy McDowell says, I do find it tough to be my feminine, yet provide for myself and lead my two sons as well. And here's the thing. And again, Kathy, I love that you are here, because you're a perfect example, right, of a feminine who is needed to be a leader in her family, right? A masculine energy in your own family, because you have two sons to lead, and those sons need a masculine energy. Take it from a man and a son, right? Is we need a role model. We need someone a masculine energy who can lead us forward. And again, this has been a lesson. Many feminines have had to be that, and that's great. I think that's great. It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all, right? Or you've had to provide yourself, right? You've had to be that role. But what I am saying is now, I guarantee you now, there is and will be more and more and more, I promise you, of an opportunity to begin to shift into a different state, okay? For those of you guys who are ready. Daniela Marie, I'm just here to say, I want to hear what you want to have to say. I love it. If you guys have comments, questions, if you guys agree, if you guys disagree, I want to hear all of it. I do not censor anyone on this platform unless you guys are saying some crazy stuff that is negatively affecting other people, but I do not censor anyone here. Neither Party Patriots USA says, way too many masculine women and way too feminine men. Society has now normalized this. Men and women were created differently for a reason. Speaking as a Libra, there is such imbalance. Well said, Neither Party. I'm a Libra rising myself as well, so I like you. I can kind of see that society, for some reason, is attempting to normalize this as if it's a good thing. And I agree that women and men created very differently, but very equally, right? Very equal in their overall value and their overall worthiness to society or to be themselves, but very differently. We must recognize and honor those differences as opposed to trying to shut them down. Okay, Jacqueline Stone. Okay, so let me get back to the astrology, because we went on a bit of a rant here, and we'll keep going from there. Let me just make sure this is open here. Okay, boom. Okay. So that's the start here, right? So that's the main theme that came here, out here at the start of the fall equinox here. Again, happened tonight at 6:02 p.m. Now we also have, again, part of this is South Node making a trine, okay? Retrograde, by the way. It's South Node retrograde in Scorpio, making a trine to both Lilith, okay? So we talked about that exposure of the dark energy, and Juno in Pisces here in retrograde. Juno's in Pisces in retrograde. okay, during Mercury retrograde. So Juno's in retrograde, by the way. Saturn's in retrograde. I believe Mars is not in retrograde yet, but it will be. South node, north node is in retrograde. All these planets in retrograde, including Mercury, okay? But Juno being in retrograde, trine the south node is very significant as well, okay? Because part of the shift is seeing the vision now, right? Like right now, and I'm talking now, like right now. That's why I asked, like, what are you guys here to do? Right now, there's an opportunity to really see, okay, a vision of your life long-term, what that looks like. Ideally, right? Many of you guys are going to be coming into opportunities where you start to see, what is my life supposed to look like in the long term? What do I want it to look like in the long term moving forward from here? Okay, Juno trine South Node, Scorpio with Juno in retrograde in Pisces here. Very great opportunity for dreams and or visions and or prophetic insights into your personal life moving forward and how that will match into society, okay? There's two things here to pay attention to in terms of what you're feeling and how to identify that. Number one, there's a need for you. Like there's an urgency, there's a need. I want you guys to feel into that right now, okay? In the pit of your soul, feel into that. What is the need that society has from you? Okay, I want you guys to feel that in your soul. I want you guys to share it in the chat if you want to, of course, if you're open to it. But there's a need from society to you about what society needs you to provide to it, yeah? Okay, there's that. And there's, in accordance with that, how that need will satisfy the desires you have in your heart to live out and to be here on this planet, to be with people. The vision that you'd like to live out here, okay? Those two questions, I want you to see at least the first one and share in the chat if you want to, what that need from society is for you, that urgency, okay? It has to be an urgency of like, okay, society needs this from me. I need to provide and fill in this gap, fill in this space for society so that they can have this service from me that will also at the same time fulfill my personal needs, yeah? I appreciate that user switch. Sarah MZ77, can someone explain to me what will happen on September 24th? I am scared. I am a firm believer, first and foremost, that the 24th itself, I do not believe that there's anything physically that's going to happen. However, moving forward from the 24th, and people may disagree with me on this, it's okay, that emotionally speaking, we will be pushed into something new, or we will be pushed to make a decision about some aspect of our life that has been really bogging us down. It's going to be pushed to the limit. That's what I personally feel like, an internal explosion of sorts that's going to push us into a new direction. September 24th, and to be honest, I can look at the astrology now. There's nothing much going on in the astrology. Let me just be honest. I study astrology for a living. There's nothing much going on here that would really paint a big red alarm here. I mean, I just turned to it on the astrology. We've got the moon passing over Venus, making a trine to Pluto here. We still got that south node trine at Juno, and we've got Neptune here opposing Venus as well, which is that I would say that's significant. But Neptune opposing Venus here and the moon, that's a pretty like internally focused, really a chance for epiphanies or realizations in those moments, in that day. September, I kind of see it as a positive thing. That's the thing. I think there's a lot of people out there trying to scare people and say, I don't doubt that there's things coming down the line. Now, don't get me wrong here, but I think the 24th itself, I think there's going to be some very positive opportunities or epiphanies or prophetic realizations that come through that help you and I to be of more service, okay? Or really give us an idea of, again, what we want our life to look at. So it's like tonight, it's like we're answering the question, well, what does society need from us? Like if you look into your heart, what does society need from you, right? Ask yourself the question, what does society need from me to provide that service that I'm here to do, right? And then, right, moving forward on the 24th, I believe that the opportunity, if I do this, this is how my needs can be met to live out what I want to live out, my experience. Because the other part of it is doing your duty, doing your karma, but then having the opportunity to live your dreams too. What really makes you happy here on earth. That's a very, very, very important and a very big and significant part of why we came down here as well. So don't forget about it. Hey, Rach Perels, thanks for saying that. Okay. Kathy McDowell, my oldest son is struggling with some decisions. Do you feel he will find clarity as well? Kathy, I do feel, honestly, just intuitively for you, I think he's going to need a push from either you or someone in his life to make a decision. I don't feel the problem is like making the, I don't feel the problem is like either one of the decisions. I think for him, it's more making the decision that's the problem. Once he makes a decision, he'll be fine, but he's kind of stuck in the middle there. It feels like very Libran energy for sure. Shelby Orlando says, how do you stop panic attacks? You got to get to the root. We talked about this in the last live stream, but panic attacks result from something very deep, unconsciously threatening your very soul, threatening your very body. And yes, I bring some intensity because I want you to realize a panic attack means death to your body. Do you guys realize that? A panic attack means death to your body. And how do I know? I used to have panic attacks. I used to literally go to the hospital. My ex-girlfriend brought me to the hospital because I thought I was dying because I was having a panic attack. So I know what they feel like. And the real root of it was what I didn't want to see is that in surgery, part of my body had been taken away from me, right? My meniscus, I had a meniscus surgery in my right knee, and my body was totally jacked up. And I didn't know how to deal with that at that time. I was 21 years old. But unconsciously, my body was like thinking I was going to die because in that surgery, whatever they did told my body subconsciously that I was dying. I don't know what that is. But my point is, you want to get rid of panic attacks, you got to go and say, what is the real truth that I am scared of? What is the real truth that's telling me that I'm going to die? What is the real truth that I cannot bear to look at because it's so deep and so scary deep inside? And you have to ask your belly, by the way. That's where it all resides. And you have to go into your belly. Don't go in your head. Don't go into the panic. Go the opposite way into your belly and ask your belly, what is the real root emotion behind the panic? Okay. Is it fear, depression, anger, anxiety? What is the other thing that panic attacks do, by the way? Hopefully this helps you who asked the question. The other thing that panic attacks do is they blur out the original emotion. Okay. Because the panic, what that does is it is a way to dull or numb or blur the original emotion or trauma too. So if we get stuck in the panic, we never go deeper underneath that layer to see what the true emotion or true event or true belief in your soul is. You see that? So many of us, myself included, can get stuck in the panic before realizing it's deeper. Okay. Jacqueline says, breathe, realize you're not your past/breath. Betsy Cleary says, hope he's a great one. So Shelby, that's what I would say is, yes, breathe into it. Okay. Let the real belief, let the real truth come in about what it is, what it means to you, and know that you are not your panic. It's simply a belief in your soul, a belief in your subconscious, a belief in your fascia, your fascial tissue in the body, which is a tissue that has intelligence that's wrapped around all your muscles. Okay. That your body took on unconsciously because something happened. And chances are, as I'm saying this, which is why my voice got a little lighter, you might be realizing what that is now. Something happened to you that you didn't fully address that needs to come out now, needs to come up now. And you can say it in this chat if you want to release it or not. It's up to you. Okay, but something happened to you. Something happened to you very deep from way back behind, that is still telling you that you are going to die, you're going to suffer, something bad's going to happen. But Beach Butterfly says, also you can use your senses, touch something, hear something, see something, love that. Hi, how can I focus on my self-healing without tapping into 3D? I just want an energy shift. Well, I would say you're already doing it already, user 802. Focus on my self-healing without tapping into 3D. I just want an energy shift. The truth of the matter is I love this question. And I remember when I was first going on my spiritual journey or realizing, what was happening spiritually, is I just wanted to stay there. Yeah, I just wanted to stay in the 5D, stay in the land of the energy and the spiritual. and I didn't want to come back down and pay my bills, or I didn't want to come back down and like do human stuff, right? And it's a temptation many of us face. But the truth of the matter is, if that was meant to be your existence alone, you wouldn't be here. Okay, you'd be up in the spirit realm, floating around, just doing spiritual things, because they don't have to deal with human stuff. But the truth of the matter is, your soul, my soul, all of our souls signed up to be in a human body, to be in this dense ass, difficult ass, hard ass, free will planet in order to learn through the school of the human experience. And so my point is, that's great up there, but at the end of the day, you are still a human. You still have to feed yourself. You still have to do human things, pay bills. You get to have sex. You get to go on and ride a Corvette. You get to do fun, human-like things, okay, that have pleasure in them. While at the same time knowing that you are not this experience. You are something much, 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 much greater. Jack the Great, hope that helps. Jack the Great, I'm a son too, and I feel a need to be certain about where to go so I can be the man for myself and my family. I love that. Yeah, beautiful. That's the man's mission right now. Beautiful, beautiful work. Hello, Brandon. Much love and light. Dr. Joe, I'm planning to work with you soon. Thought intuitively. My thought intuitively is you're on the right track. Keep on going. You don't need to work with anyone, let alone me, in order to pursue your greatest path. In fact, you're already getting there. That's what Spirit's saying. You just got to get out of your own way. Yeah. So keep going. You don't need me. I would tell you the same, by the way, if we were in a one-on-one session. Let me just save you $400. But you know why I'm starting to move away from coaching, guys, is like one-on-one coaching. I mean, and by the way, if you guys are interested, obviously, I'm really moving away from one-on-one coaching and one-on-one sessions because, one, who the hell right now can afford that much money to work with me, or anyone for that matter, at this time? There's not a lot of people who really need the help who can afford that price. I obviously you might say, well, Brandon, it's as easy as lowering your prices. Well, it's like at the same time, I have to know that it's a certain amount of energy I have to give and a certain amount of recharge I have to give, and I can only give a certain amount per day to human. And so with everything I'm trying to afford, right, and have and provide for, there has to be a certain rate in order to, be here. But part of the reason I'm moving away from that is because half the time people already know what they need to do, and they come to me because they know I'm going to tell them what their soul's already telling them. They just needed someone to confirm it. Yeah. So I'm more so moving into a place where let me help a lot of people, but just share with them the tools they need to know how to do that for themselves. That way they don't need to pay someone like me an inordinate amount of money to tell them what they already know. Yes, I can channel and I can do cool stuff like that too. But most of the time, again, it's stuff that they're already feeling. They just needed someone to speak it out. But anyways, what I was saying is, again, if you guys are interested in group coaching with me, I'm moving away from one-on-one coaching, moving into group coaching alone. I have a new group coaching group. It's an introductory price and offer for $33 a month for weekly live sessions with me and the group and a private community and lots of other cool stuff. It's the lowest price I've ever offered and probably will ever offer. So definitely check it out. Links in my bio for that. If you want to join a group of light workers dedicated to changing the world by finding their true soul path and purpose through weekly coaching sessions, and you can cancel at any time. Shelby, Orlando, I'm new here and I'm lost. What do you mean energy? How did you know that about me? Well, that's a very, very good question. A very, very deep question. The truth is I have no idea how I knew that about you. I have no idea how I do what I do. What I do know is it is a gift. I'm lucky to have it. It's taken a lot of work to develop and cultivate this gift, and I give it all to God. I give it all to God for giving me the privilege to be able to use this gift and to share it with the world. That's what I can tell you. Nothing more than that. Nothing more, nothing less. It's about trust and it's about faith. This is nothing special. Whatever it is I'm doing, everyone can do this. Every single one of you. And I mean that. I'm not just bullshitting you. That's part of what the group coaching does. It teaches you can do this too. Yeah, that's it. That's it. What I meant by energy is, everything is energy. So when you are tapped into your insight enough, like when you have healed your body, your soul enough to the point where your gifts come online again, meaning your gifts in terms of being able to read the energy of people, of things, of society, of charts. You can read the energetic signature, and you can literally see and tell where someone is messed up, okay, in their heart or something else. We did a really fun live stream not too long ago on the energy of Vladimir Putin. And many of you guys were there for that. And we said Vladimir Putin is a man with a chip on his shoulder who, from I think his mother, I forget his mother or his father, had something that he needed to prove that he never got to prove, like a legend or a legacy that he's still trying to activate after all this time because he felt he needed to relive it for his ancestors, something along those lines, right? But fun things like that where you can see, all right, that's just energetically what's happening, right? And you can channel that, you can receive that information. That's all I'm doing here. It's nothing special. It's just it's what we can all do. I went on this journey a little sooner than some people here. Okay. All right. Playboy, roll a Dutch. It's not a negative energy. What's the energy that is draining me? I've saged house and spiritual. It's not a negative entity. Well, to be honest with you, I feel it's the house itself. I don't know why I'm getting that, but your environment. I don't know if you live with people, but it feels like the environment itself is very not like it's needing support. If lack of a better word, like the environment itself is transparent, like it's leaching or seeking energy, and it's needing support, and it's just not a very good place for your soul to be in. That's just what I got immediately from that. All right. Okay. Let me close with one more thing because I think it's about to get to that point where it's diverting into individual questions, and that's not my intention on this particular live stream. So let me finish out with and if you guys want to be in future live streams where I do that sometimes. I will definitely be doing that in the group coaching program if you guys want to be a part of that. Again, links in my bio or in the description box to check that out. But let me close out with the final thing I want to share about the moving forward from the fall equinox here, and let me just go into October here and kind of channel what's coming ahead. So last things I'll say is we know that from here on out things are going to start to rebalance themselves to a better equilibrium, to give back more energy, time, and resources to the people. It's not going to be so much top heavy where corporations, elite people, and the other is going to be taking away. It's going to be more balanced, and things are going to start to come back the other way towards that of the people, towards that of the human heart, the real people that are here. Okay. So there'll be a period of that going on. There'll be opportunities to take back what's rightfully yours in your life, take back pieces of you, pieces of your heart that you've left behind. There'll be opportunities to really step into a place of need for society, of community, and of service for people around you. There will be an opportunity to really find yourself through these experiences and really enjoy, for the first time ever for some of us and many of us and perhaps all of us, what you are doing in life for the world and for society. And there will be an opportunity as well to really make a name for yourself, make an impact, and at least if you don't want that, or if that's not what your path is, to make the resources for yourself to be able to live a life that you really enjoy. Set yourself up for a life you enjoy. That's coming down the line. But the first part is finding that place where your unique blueprint or your unique soul serves society that's needed from and for you at this particular moment. That's what I would challenge all of you guys here in this live stream now to say. That's what we need to do. That's what your homework will be until I see you next, to find out what society needs from you, and ask your heart, ask your soul, ask your stomach what society needs from you uniquely that it doesn't need from anyone else, in accordance with why you are here, why you are really here, why your soul is here right now. Now is the opportunity to get in alignment with that fully, completely, and totally, moving forward in a way that's never been possible before. Okay. And of course, we'll do future updates and things like that on the astrology and what's to come. But that's we'll go ahead and start to end on that. Let me just read some comments here and catch up with the chat here. Simi says, Brandon's amazing. Thank you, Simi. I really appreciate that. XYZ says, hey, a hey back, XYZ. Jack the Grape, I'm a son too. We already read that. Awesome. Bella Kira says, hey from Virginia. Shelby says, do you deliver people from demonic possession? Yes, I do. I do indeed. It gets me, I don't know why it gets me so excited to do that, but it does, because at my heart, I'm just a spiritual warrior. Like I'm like, let's go. Because I've had enough experience with demons in my own home and in my own soul sometimes, in my own environments, to know that they're number one, very, very real. Number two, when you call on the energy of Jesus Christ, God, the light, unconditional love, they cannot handle that at all. It's like a shield and or a weapon of light that you can bring in. Any one of those things, okay? So, and you don't have to be religious, by the way. But you bring in this light, unconditional love. I always bring in a portal of unconditional love. And I allow them, I channel that to allow them to either go take that back down to the underworld, or to dissipate themselves, dissipate the evil, or to go. But the short answer is yes. That is one thing that I do. And I do believe it's going to be a skill set that's needed in society moving forward from here. Genevieve 19 says, thank you, Brandon. I definitely feel aligned with this energy. I want to be in my purpose. Awesome, Genevieve. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. Playboy, roll of Dutch, it takes so much energy to do. It does. Yes, thank you for sharing. It really does, which is why I don't do it often. A quick crazy story before I close. I had a client, I won't say her name, but I actually, like in the session, we were in a session, and I go, there's a demon with you. Like there's a demon in your house. Like, it's here. Actually, I'm sorry, it wasn't a demon. It was a very negatively oriented spirit, okay, that had died in the house and apparently killed his wife, and it was this very dark thing. And in the session when I actually, helped her, I was teaching her to remove it, and got to a point where I had to remove it because it got really intense. And I started to remove it, and I swear to God, okay, the Zoom session, as I started to do it and affect it, the Zoom session closed out. The screen went blank. Like it kicked me out of the Zoom session completely and left her there. And I was in shock, all right? And what Spirit told me was just keep going. Even though the screen's off, like keep doing what you were doing. Don't let that distract you, because that's all I was trying to do. And so I ended up finishing and removing it, literally removing it, and then reopening the session and getting back into it. And mind you, Zoom never just closes off like that. Like it's pretty good about that most of the time, except if it's Mercury retrograde. And it was a complete difference. Like she felt it, I felt it. The home was clear and open. And funny enough, Paula Michelle, my girlfriend, she was in the other room meditating. She felt it. And we had to kind of remove it from our energy later on that day. So these things are very real, very intense, and very, very heavy, okay, to deal with. So don't do it unless you have to, is my point there. Genuine, are you still able to do deep self-healing while in a twin flame union? Yeah, 100%. That's the whole point of it. Ask Paula over there. We do it every single day. Every single day. Kathy says, sounds intense. It was very intense. I can't even connect with my husband anymore. I'm sorry to hear that. Sounds like a conversation. It's time for a conversation there. I am too. They live in the name of God and Jesus. Yes, they do. Is anxiety from a demonic oppression? Someone told me that yesterday. Okay, let me just, Shelby, this is a very good question. Let me answer this for you. Yes and no. Here's why. Anxiety is a natural physiological response of the body, right? Basically, it's the body's natural system of saying something's up, something's wrong. You need to look at this inside your body, okay? You need to look at some issue emotionally or physically inside of your body, okay? If that's emotional, meaning there's some emotional root that we or you as a human are not willing to look at and take care of or to release or heal from, what I will say is that demons and demonic possession can make that worse and make that even more exacerbated to the point where it affects your life negatively. So all they can do is take advantage of pre-existing wounds in your own soul that have to do with trauma or have to do with places where you've been hurt. Does that make sense? They can't get in. If you are full, clean, clear, light-oriented, healed vessel, there's nothing they can do. They cannot affect you. They cannot get in. So demonic possession only happens when you have someone that's really wounded and really hurt and has made an agreement unconsciously with themselves to allow that, or they are so wounded and so hurt that, again, demons can actually take advantage of that and use that hurt to convince them that what they're doing is right. How many people know someone in society, right, that uses their hurt to justify their actions, right? Because let's just, God, I hate to even bring this name up. I'm not, Caleb, I'm about to say this. I'm not saying that Andrew Tate is possessed by a demon at all. Let me just make that very clear. I don't think he is. I think a lot of the things he says are, let's just say this, helpful. But there's clearly a wound there towards the feminine, okay? There's clearly a wound within his own heart and soul towards his own feminine energy, right? How many guys can probably see that? Now, what my guess is that because he was on the mainstream social so much, that there's an opportunity there, right, for potentially a negative spirit or a demon to go into that wound and to cause him to do or say or be things that he wouldn't normally be or do. Does that make sense? Because that wound it's an opportunity to convince that person that what he's doing or saying is right. Does that make sense? So that's what I'll say is that's the difference there, okay? In terms of that's how you can protect yourself by looking at those. That's how they work. So my answer to you is yes and no, because it starts from you always, right? They can't create it, but they can build on something that's already there. And yes, they can come in if you have a pre-existing wound there, okay? And all you would need to do, again, is go into that spot and say, in the name of God, I release you now. You are not welcome here. I call on God for you to go now. And be firm with it, and you'll feel a release. You'll feel a difference, I promise you. Okay, creator of all that is, was, and ever will be, I command you to release this demon into the light here and now, right? You can say a number of things, but to your strength, to your consciousness, to your light, they cannot exist to that, right? They cannot be in that. They can only exist in the shadow, in the darkness, okay? All right, guys. All right, that's probably enough for tonight. We got into a variety of subjects. Again, I love you guys all. Thank you guys so much for being here. I went way over time. It's literally 1 hour and 11 minutes as I decided to end this. I didn't realize that. If you want to work with me personally, have weekly group meetings with a community of light workers who are committed to changing the world by finding out who they are and what their sole purpose is on a weekly basis with weekly group leadership and healing and coaching sessions, definitely check out my new Inner Compass coaching group for $33.33 a month. Lowest price I will ever offer, and that price will not be like that forever. It'll probably be like that for another month or two at the most. And then we'll be going away or going up at that point in time. So definitely take advantage of it. Link for that is in my bio on TikTok or on YouTube. It's in the description box. But I honor and appreciate you guys so much. Jacqueline says, wonderful live. Thank you so much. And yes, I want to join. Awesome. We'll see you in there. Once you guys sign up for the group, there'll be 2 links, the private community and the introduction video to tell you how to do it. Don't miss that on the Stripe confirmation page if you guys do sign up. And we'll end with that. All right, so Simi says, it works. I do what you said to do at night to protect my body, and it works. Good, thank you. Yes, it works. Change your vibration, close the negative portals. All right, I love you all. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you on the next one. Happy fall equinox, and Godspeed to all of you.